Here it is, the fourth part of my rundown of the top 100 Vita games. I'll be running through my top 100 Vita games over the course of 10 weeks, so check out my other videos running through 100 to 71. Anyway, on to part 4 of the list, 70 to 61. Number 70, Runner 2. I love the music and graphics in Runner 2. It's an auto runner where you have to constantly stay on your toes to try and jump, slide under and avoid obstacles to the rhythm of the music. It starts off pretty easy, but gets really tough. Replaying a level for the 10th time could get frustrating at times, but the excellent soundtrack made it all okay, and I found the challenge made me more determined to finish the level rather than make me give up. Street Fighter x Tekken. I've been a huge fan of Street Fighter games ever since playing Street Fighter 2 in the arcades back when I was 11. Street Fighter x Tekken is not the best Street Fighter game I've played. I consider Street Fighter 3 Third Strike to be the best one. But it's a great fighter and has so much content for solo players. Aside from the arcade mode and finishing the story for all the different characters, the online multiplayer allowed you to play with PS3 players, which helped keep the servers full for a long time. The variety of characters was excellent, having all the best Street Fighter characters and my favourites from Tekken. I really enjoyed playing all the Tekken characters in 2D and seeing how their moves translate to this new style. Number 68, Retro City Rampage. Retro City Rampage takes the gameplay style of the original Grand Theft Auto, modernizes it, and mixes in some random funny pop culture references. I had a great time with this game. Even just driving around the city and trying to find random missions, or getting into fights with the police was a lot of fun. '67. Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. Virtue's Last Reward was my first experience of a visual novel, and it did not disappoint. The story and intrigue kept me on the edge of my seat, and I found the cast of characters to be so interesting. The escape room puzzles, which is the primary gameplay element, were probably the least interesting aspect for me. I just wanted to continue with the story and find out more about the mysterious kidnapper. '66. Rabi-Rabi. Rabi-Rabi is a Metroidvania with cute and colourful pixel graphics. You start the game very weak with slow movement, which I didn't enjoy for the first hour, but after unlocking new abilities and upgrades, the game becomes much faster paced and really fun. It played like a traditional 2D action platformer at times, but the boss fights mixed things up by becoming a bullet hell style game. The story was kind of convoluted, but the gameplay was just great. '65. Castle Storm. The best way to describe Castle Storm is a tower defense game mixed with Angry Birds. You need to defend your base from oncoming enemies by shooting projectiles at them, and by releasing troops to fight them. I enjoyed this game so much. It gets pretty hectic with all the enemies on screen in later levels, and you need to properly plan out the structure of your castle so that it's properly defended. I haven't played the DLC, but even just the base game has a lot of content, and the challenge kept me playing for hours and hours trying to beat every level. '64. Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions. Geometry Wars 3 is a brilliant twin-stick shooter that's easy to get to grips with, but challenging to finish all 50 stages in adventure mode. There's also the obligatory survival stages, which adds longevity to the game, even after you finish adventure mode. There's a lot of content, and with the challenge of some of the boss fights, you can sink a lot of time into this game. '63. Foul Play. Foul Play is a 2D brawler kind of like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, but it takes place on a stage as the British gentleman Baron Dashforth recounts his great adventures. On the stage you travel to various scenes like Egypt or under the sea, fighting actors posing as enemies and demons. The beat-em-up gameplay is brilliant, emphasizing combos. There's no health bar. Your performance is gauged by how much the crowd is cheering, and you need to constantly perform combos to make them happy. It's a really unique style of game and also really funny. 62. Zen Pinball 2. Zen Pinball 2 doesn't get as much love as I think it deserves. Over time there have been so many new DLC tables released, and I love how they incorporate so many different franchises into a pinball game. My favourites are the Skyrim, Marvel Civil War and Spider-Man tables. Skyrim in particular is an RPG adventure, but using the pinball table to take your actions. It costs a lot to grab all the different tables, and they don't seem to go on sale enough in my opinion, but I don't think you need all of them. Just a few select good ones can keep you entertained for hours. I spent 6 hours playing just the Skyrim table on a flight once, and I still wasn't done with it. '61. Luftrausers. Luftrausers is an addictive, fun and challenging 2D shooter. The trophies have been broken since launch, which I know is rubbish, but the game itself is just so good that it didn't matter to me that I would never platinum it. The aim is to basically survive as long as possible and take out as many enemies as possible. The graphics suit the game brilliantly, and it feels awesome taking out huge numbers of enemies as the epic music builds to its crescendo. So guys, come back next week for the next part of my top 100. What are your thoughts on the list so far? Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.